Need to go home.
I won't keep you if you wish to leave. But I want you to choose which door to go through based on your faith.
What does this have to do with us leaving?
Everything.
I think that we're being studied.
It will make your hearts beat faster. It may even make you want to die.
So, just got back from seeing the movie Heretic. Now, the definition of heretic is a person believing in or practicing religious heresy. So, you guys know what the definition of heretic is. So, now that we have seen or heard what the definition is, I have to just say I just got back from seeing the Heretic, and man, Hugh Grant played this role, and with those ladies as well. This was like one of those movies that you left and you were like, if I smoked, I would probably be smoking a blunt after I watch it. Like it's so. This movie is so different than any other movie that you will see this year. Even though after giving the definition, I really can't even surmise to tell you how crazy this movie was. Now, the story of the Heretic follows two young ladies that are Mormons from the Church of the Latter Day Saints, by the name of Sister Barnes and Sister Baxton. Excuse me, Sister Paxson. Also played by Sophie Thatcher and Chloe East. I'm not too familiar with any one of their works, but I'm pretty sure they've been in a couple of things. But this to me is is first time seeing them, and they are two, like I said, Mormons, and they're just trying to convert people over, and they knock on Mr. Reed's door, played by Hugh Grant. And in the Church of the Latter-day Saints, they basically must always be in presence of a woman, but he lures them in and says, oh, my wife is here, let me go get her. And he basically starts having a conversation about, converting to becoming a Mormon. And thus in that, he entraps these women in this house and basically makes them prove their religion to survive. And he puts them in a test theory, a test to basically question their faith. Is their faith what they say it is? And until they can answer that question, they cannot leave. They're pretty much locked into this house, and it's like a fortress. It's almost kind of like a fortress / maze. So now these two must come together while dealing with this heretic of a lunatic played by Mr. Hugh Grant. Now I have to say, like, this is hands down one of the craziest movies I've seen in a very long time. If you are any bit religious, I think like this movie will kind of, I'm not gonna say this movie will test your faith, but it will make you question some things. And that's the thing that I loved about this movie. I think a lot of people probably might not like this movie that are super religious but you have to get the overall theme of where they were going. And that's why, like, as soon as I left from here, I had to research who wrote this damn movie. And surprisingly enough, the directors are the ones who wrote this. Scott Beck and Brian Woods. Like, the level of trickery that came into writing such an adaptation of this screenplay is crazy. Like, some of the history, the either the Greek mythology and all the different touches of all the different religion, it's like you're playing psychological Monopoly in this particular movie. And this movie has traces of a lot of other movies that I've seen, like movies sort of like Seven and the movie Barbarian. If people have seen that, came out a couple years ago, it's just such a difficult movie. But I'm not gonna really say difficult movie to watch, but in theory, once you start watching this and you just up here like, damn, like this heretic, Mr. Reed, he has a lot of good points about religion and how it plays into our society and how it's basically controlling said people. And I guess in this general sense of theme, he's testing these women to see, are you really religious? Is religion really real? And you kind of start, I guess the point of this movie is to test people's faith in the Lord or in who they seem fit as the higher being. and they knock it out the park. Like I said, I can see a lot of people not liking this movie just because like how it ends and who the supreme religion is at the end, who they basically say who it is, which I'm not gonna ruin it for you. But it's an interesting fix which I didn't see coming, and it just like had one of them like endings. You just sitting there like, Jesus Christ. Like, I would watch this movie again just for simple wordplay, and the screenwriting was just. The writing in this movie and acting was amazing. Like, Hugh Grant has never looked better. So, I see why this movie has gotten praise. And generally, I don't like movies that it's just like only like a couple different characters. But I have to stop. I have to get out of that realm because you thought the movie was only about a couple different characters, and then more characters start slowly coming in the movie. Like I said, won't ruin it for you, but it's just like you think something's something and then it's not. It just is a very sinister psychological thriller. Like, it's not a horror movie. This is a psychological thriller. So with that one, it come out next week. So once you guys get a chance to see that, drop those comments. Let me know what you guys thought about The Heretic.